Number 38, Aurora Houston. Now let's introduce the starting lineup for your TSS Rovers, presented by L1BC Brewing, starting with your goalkeeper, number 1, Ashley Strand. Number 2, Caitlin Chu. Number 3, Katie Chan. Number 7, Claire Yee. Number 8, Sophia Perino. Number 11, Sophia Kramer. Number 14, Elise Beaudry. Number 17, Sophie Campbell. Number 20, Joanna Friesen. Number 23, Sasha Merck. And number 24, Megan Sue. That's our match, and UBC's 15 pitch today will be officiated by our fabulous referee and assistant referees. If you're interested in becoming a referee, BC Soccer wants to hear from you. Visit bcsoccer.net/referees for more details. Now, friends, at this time, we ask you please rise if you're able. Please remove your hats and join us for the performance of our Canadian national anthem, O Canada.
Good afternoon and welcome to Swangard Stadium in Burnaby, beautiful British Columbia. It's a League 1 BC Women's Division match of the week, and it's a rematch of the game if you watched last Sunday that produced an absolutely enthralling and entertaining 1-1 draw. And it's TSS this time hosting table-topping Altitude. And Altitude are just a couple of points away from winning the League 1 BC title for 2024. Sorry, we're just having a few technical issues that I'm trying to fix as I'm talking here. Let's scrap that and let's just get into the starting lineups for both teams. First of all, if you're trying to follow along on the League 1 Canada app, apologies, the app has some issues today and is only listing the numbers for the teams and not the actual players. So bear with us as we get through this one. But for the visiting Altitude, led by head coach Jesse Simons, his first year in charge of Altitude, but a man with a lot of connections to the North Shore and North Vancouver. In goal is number 30, Dakota Beckett. Number 2, Sophia Ferreira, wearing the captain's armband. Number 5, Zoel Apps. Number 12, Olivia Shepherd. Number 15, Sophia Peckinpah. Number 20, Sienna Gibson. Number 21, Cassidy Anderson. Number 24, Claire Logan. Number 32, Emma Yee. Number 34, Kajal Parmar. And number 38, Aurora Hughes Goyette. And there's two new faces on that Altitude lineup. We'll get into that as the broadcast gets underway. For TSS, led by second-year head coach Kevin Booker. Two changes for the Rovers from that team that got the draw at Kinsman Field last weekend. One of them in goal, number 1, Ashley Strand. Number 2, Caitlin Chu. Number 3, Katie Chan. Number 7, Claire Yee. Number 8, Sophia Ferrimo. Number 11, Sophia Kramer. Number 14, Elise Beaudry. Number 17, Sophie Campbell. Number 20, Delana Friesen. Number 23, Sasha Merck. And number 24, Megan Sue. TSS lined up in a 4-4-2 formation this afternoon for Altitude. 7 changes to the starting lineup that started that game at Kinsman last Sunday. 4 from the team that went to Coquitlam on Wednesday night and came away with an absolutely massive 6-0 victory over Evolution. The lie of the land in the League 1BC Women's Division. Altitude sitting at the top, 34 points. They need 4 points to guarantee the title in their last 3 games. 3 points this afternoon would go a long way to doing that. Sitting in second just now are Vancouver Rise on 28 points. They can only get, though, to 37 points, so they are now officially out of the League 1BC Women's Division title race. The only team that can catch Altitude is Unity, sitting in third, 23 points, 5 games left to play. They can still get to 38 points. Altitude would have the tiebreakers if it did get that they both finished on 38 points. So 4 points for Altitude will see them win their first ever League 1BC Women's Division title in the 4th year of the league. And if they can do that, they'll be heading off to Alberta to take part in the 2025 League 1 Canada Interprovincial Tournament. TSS Rovers in the all red with the white numbers and trim going from right to left in this first half. But it's Altitude that will be getting the action underway imminently in the all black jerseys with the white numbers and trim. They'll be going from left to right, and the action is underway here. And on the ball right away is a lady that's just been lighting it up since she's come back from college in League 1BC, Emma Yee, who is having an absolutely fantastic season out there. 4 goals, 5 assists in her appearances so far, and she has been absolutely phenomenal since coming into this Altitude side. You've seen her over the years playing for the Whitecaps in League 1, as Altitude hoped to get their first corner there, and Sophia Peckinpah is going to be over to take this one. She's waved away though by Emma Yee, and it's going to be a throw-in deep in the half instead. And Yee was down as having the number 32, but she's actually back in her number 33 jersey. They've obviously been able to find that one on the way here, so Emma Yee wearing number 33 this afternoon. Jessie Simon's side have only lost 1 game all season. They've only dropped points in 2 of them, and one of them was to TSS last Sunday in the feature game in North Vancouver. Cassidy Anderson, who's had a good couple of games for Altitude out there, as she looks to impress her college head coach Jessie Simons. As the ball comes in, it's just got too much on it. It's just going to run away from Sophia Peckinpah. TSS struggling to keep hold of the ball in the opening minutes here, as Altitude will be happy just to stroke this one around, keep possession, try and force a breakthrough. And they've got a lot of talent out there in that Altitude side this afternoon. 11 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, giving them their 34 points. 43 goals they have put up over the course of this season, only given up 9 in their 13 games so far. TSS just keeping hold of everything. Playing that one into touch. Fortunately, haven't got a note of who the officials are this afternoon, so we'll try and get that to you for the start of the second half. As mentioned, the League 1 Canada app is down at the moment. TSS now have the chance to get out their half for what feels like the first time in the opening 3 minutes here. Friesen looked for the long ball forward. It's a 4-4-2, 4-3-3 it will be at times as they go forward for TSS here, with Baudry and Yee leading the line and Sophia Kramer just tucked in behind them. Kramer had a good game in the match between these two teams last Sunday, and she'll know so many players on this altitude so well. Kramer, one of the players on this altitude side that plays her college football for UBC, is first chance there for TSS to try and get something going as Remo tries to thread that through to Claire Yee. Cut out though by the altitude side, and they really racked up the goals in the closing minute of that game against Evolution. It was 2-0 at the half, and then it was 4 goals in the last 13 minutes for Altitude, giving them the big 6-0 victory and putting them within touch and distance of that first ever League 1 BC title. That's a title that would mean so much to this club. And they're the highest scorers in the league this season, the best defence in the league as well. And last week's game between these two sides, I think Altitude got that breakthrough early on and thought they could probably just go on and claim another 3 points, but full credit to TSS, they really fought back hard. Deservedly tied it up before half time. The game was very much in the balance right to the final whistle, and Altitude will be disappointed to have dropped more points, but TSS can be very pleased with how they've responded this season after a bit of a tough start. Seems to be the story for the Rovers women's side in League 1 over the years. They've got their first chance now to get maybe something going. Corner whipped in from the far side from Kramer. It's a good delivery. It's over the head of everyone. And this will give Altitude a chance to get it out. Just hit forward anywhere will do right now. Peckinpah trying to knock that past the defender, but good play there from Caitlin Chu to knock that one out. Altitude though, keeping hold of the ball. Remember, if you want to get in touch during the broadcast, you can do so on X at AFTN Canada. That's AFTN Canada if you want to chat about this game, the League 1 season, or look ahead to the provincials and provincials that are coming up. If you want to give a shout out as well, let us know who you're cheering on this afternoon, where you are taking the action in from, as Yee goes another one of her trademark runs, hit the byline, brilliant cut back there. And Yee just working out there. She is in the number 32 jersey. Number 33 is actually Kajal Palmer, who was down as being the number 34, but that is now number 33 that she is wearing. So some late changes. To the numbers for Altitude from the list that I got this morning from Jesse Simons. Parmar closing in on Strand there now. Pressure getting put on that back line from Emma Yee. Kajal Palmer, one of 2 new faces in the Altitude side this afternoon, making their first appearances. We're going to get an early substitution here as Elise Baudry is making way. Must have picked up a strain here just 8 minutes in. Baudry going off. Number 14 coming on. Oh, sorry, number 14 going off. Number 18 coming on for TSS. I think the official might actually have put the wrong number up. We're just trying to work through that just now, because on the list we don't have number 19. So it's actually number 24, Megan Sue, that has come on. So they've just put the wrong number up on the board. Everyone's having some technical difficulties this afternoon, and it's Sue that is on the ball just now. She chips that one in. In fact, no, Sue was already starting, so it isn't her. We're still trying to work this out here. It's number 10 that has come on, Caitlin Cerny, for number 14, Elise Baudry.
TSS Rovers substitution leaving the game, number 14, Elise Baudry. Entering the game, number 10, Caitlin Cerny.
Ashley Strand back between the sticks this afternoon for TSS. They've used 4 different keepers over the course of this season. TSS have survived that early spell of pressure from altitude in the opening 10 minutes, and they're now getting a lot more comfortable. Very similar pattern to how last week's game played. They were under the caution the early going, and they really got into it. And that's a great turn and through ball there from Friesen. Up the wing for Caitlin Chu. She's forced back to Friesen. Keeping hold of the ball under the pressure there from Peckinpah, and just the pass a little bit ahead there of Chu, and she can't keep that one in. That's more like the possession game TSS want to play, and they're going up against a very tough attack. And the handball, the referee had given it the other way, but it was definitely for TSS as Cerny gets the ball. Touch outside now to Yi. She's trying to make room for the shot. She's closed down there though by 2 altitude players, and the long range shot comes in from Sophia Ferrimo, but Dakota Beckett more than a match for that one. It was a long range effort from Sophie Campbell that got TSS the point last week. An absolute cracker of a goal from about 30 yards out. And Sophia Ferrimo scored a few of those long ranges as well over the course of the season. So that's something TSS are very good at doing. Sue now plays that back to last week's goal scorer Campbell, and the Rovers will try and bring this out now. Up the right hand side. Yeah, rare misplay from her there, putting that into touch. That will bring up our Rovers throw-in about halfway point of the altitude half. And Emma Yee, since coming in to this altitude side later in the season, after finishing her rookie season at the University of Illinois, has been an absolute fire, and she's definitely the danger woman to watch this afternoon. As that's a ball looking to try and play in Aurora Hughes-Goyette. She held on to her run a little bit too late there, and now it's the Rovers going up the other end, and Beckett quickly off her line to smother that one before Cerny can get onto the end of it. Give you the fun fact, last week the altitude have never beaten TSS in the women's division. It is a very much changed altitude side though from what we've seen in the first 3 years of the league. Very much UBC heavy, with head coach Jesse Simons bringing a lot of his college girls to him, peppering in a few other legacy players from altitude and some very good NCAA comebacks such as Emma Yee. But just now it's altitude that's going to have to defend, and a big tackle there, taking that off the feet of Friesen, and played forward, trying to play in Kajal Parmar. So Parmar, one of the 2 new faces for altitude this afternoon. The 30-year-old bringing a wealth of experience to a young altitude side. Played her college football in Wyoming and at Tulsa after coming through the Whitecaps Rex programme. Parmar, as with the other new face Olivia Shepherd, did play in League One last year with Burnaby. Parmar having 2 games for last year's expansion side. The other new face wearing the number 12 jersey is Olivia Shepherd, another player with a lot of experience, the 27-year-old, and we'll come to her shortly. As Hughes Goyette wins that back, now it's a chance for Cassidy Anderson. She's forced to hold up though under the attention of Yi. Hughes Goyette now thought about the crossfield ball in, holds on to it though. Parmar under a lot of attention as she leads the line. And that ball just out to the left, just too much on that, getting away from Yi. One by Altitude, chance now to get something going, but a huge tackle coming in there from Friesen. I mean, that looked a fair challenge to me. Referee thinking otherwise, though, and that's going to bring up a free kick opportunity here for the visitors, about 25 yards out from goal. Well, this tempts Sophia Peckinpah to go for the long range strike. Ashley Strand lining up 3 players in the wall, referee just getting them to go back. Peckinpah certainly seems that she fancies having a pop from this free kick. She's already got 1 goal on the season. Peckinpah steps up, hits it low into the wall. A poor free kick in the end from Altitude, but they win the rebound. And now Yi cuts to the outside. Great ball in from Emma Yi, leading the team on 5 assists, getting a couple on Wednesday night against Evolution. Peckinpah trying to play that forward for Parmar, but again well read by the Rovers defence, and they'll slow it down and try and build out from the back once again. Dangerous ball there, played forward though from Katie Chan, almost picked off. TSS will keep it alive, and now they do get a chance to bring it forward up their left wing here. Nice work there from Caitlin Chu, touches that inside to Cerny, and she tries to find Megan Sue, but just runs away from her. And now it's Yi once again that will try and bring this forward for Altitude. Wins aside. Throw in on the far side. 17 minutes gone here at Swangard. Still scoreless in the second of the Ironworkers Derby for 2025. It's been Altitude that's made most of the running so far, as Peckinpah gives the return ball to Hughes Goyette. She does well to hold off Friesen. Lovely ball into the box, looking for Parmar, and she's stretching to meet it. Can't direct it towards goal though, and a great opportunity there for Altitude comes to nothing. But what play that was from Hughes Goyette. She is one of the legacy players on this Altitude side. She's been with them since their first season in the league in 2022. Plays her college football very far away out in New Brunswick with the Reds. 4 seasons under her belt out there with the New Brunswick University. Hughes Goyette's had 3 goals in each of her 3 previous seasons with Altitude in League One. Only 1 this year, so she's due to get another 2 if we're going to keep that record going. And she's got this game and 2 others to try and find those goals. Farima now, powering forward, she leads the scoring for TSS this year. She's having an absolutely fantastic season. 5 goals and 1 assist from a player that we're used to more seeing in the kind of defensive midfield role, but she's very much been box to box, really getting forward and having a couple of really good long range efforts as well. Find the back of the net. She's on the ball again just now. She's certainly been the key player. So much runs through Sofia Ferrimo this season for TSS. He's got it now. Out to Peckinpah. She was looking for the run from Parmar, but Parmar just held where she was. Anderson now. She'll play that out to Sofia Ferreira. She also got a couple of assists on Wednesday in that big 6-0 win over Evolution, her first assists of the season. Sienna Gibson trying to bulldoze her way through there, but unfairly according to the referee. And Gibson's another player that's had a very good 2025 and 2024, her rookie season with UBC, winning a national title, going off to play for Canada U20s at the CONCACAF Championship as well, scoring a goal in the final as Canada beat Mexico to win gold and book their spot at the Under-20 World Cup later this year. Peckinpah, another great delivery in from the right there. I hope she's having a lot of success going up that right hand side right now. Friesen forced to be back in a defensive shift. He's got it, plays the throw forward. It's flicked on by Parmar, but no one in a black jersey there to get on the end of that. Given away once again by TSS, and these unforced errors being pounced upon very quickly by Altitude. Hughes got it again. Looking for the return pass from Peckinpah. Doesn't come, and she sends a delightful curler into the box, looking once again for Parmar. The misplay there by the Rovers defence, but it takes a touch off Yi, and it's going to go behind for a Rovers goal kick. We're coming up to the midway point of the first half, and we're still scoreless between these two rivals. If you weren't with us at the start, Altitude just needing 4 points to claim their first ever League 1BC title. Unless there's any slips up from Unity. Along the way, Unity, if you want to take in their game this afternoon, will also be being streamed live from Cloverdale. If you're near Cloverdale, though, get out and take that action in person. If not, you can watch Unity go at 4:30, I think the women's game kicks off there. Unity, you feel, need to win out now if they're going to try and win their first ever League 1BC title. Whitecaps Girls Elite have won the League 1BC crown the past 3 seasons. Although Varsity did win the 2022 inaugural regular season under Jessie Simons. And if you haven't been following along League 1 this year, there is no playoffs, there is no championship game this year. It's just a straight 16-game regular season. That's Cassidy Anderson going on a run there, but still tenacious, wins it back to Yi, who goes for the audacious chip to the top corner. Just gets a little bit too much on that, and that's high and over for Altitude. if Altitude do win that first title and head off to the Interprovincials, Yi is going to be one of the players that they won't have, as she'll have to head back to Illinois for her NCAA pre-season. The good thing though for Altitude is, as I mentioned, a core of this team is the UBC Thunderbirds side, so they can use that as their pre-season. So Jessie Simons will have a pretty full squad to pick from in those interprovincials, and you have to feel they're going to be a force to be reckoned with there as well. The back-to-back U Sports champions looking to try and do it under the Altitude moniker. In the League One stage, they still have to clinch that spot here, and a win this afternoon would go a long way to helping them do that, and they've been on the front foot from the start here as they look for the breakthrough goal. Pick and paw into Yi. Shows some fancy footwork, but the shot, very pedestrian effort there and easily dealt with by Ashley Strand. Reminder, if you want to get in touch during the match, you can do so on X at AFTN Canada. If you want to chat about the game this season so far in League One, let us know who you are cheering on or where you're taking the action from in this afternoon. You can get in touch on X, AFTN Canada. Remember, you can also download the League One Canada app for the latest stats, results, fixtures and more. Available from the Android and Apple Store. Keep up with everything League 1 BC via the app and also on L1BC.ca. Another attack coming to nothing for Altitude there, broken up, but another misplay there from TSS puts that one into touch, giving the ball right back to Altitude as we have had 26 minutes gone here, and it's been very much Altitude on the front foot. Dakota Beckett's just had one save to make in anger so far, a long range effort from Sophia Farimo for TSS, and they've really struggled to get out of their half at the start of this one, and more dangerous play at the back there. Katie Chan getting away with that one, but Strand immediately getting put under pressure with a pressing game, and another misplay there from Chan. She lets that run off her foot, and it's going to be behind for an Altitude corner. Sophia Pickenpaw over on corner kick duty once again for this Altitude side. Pickenpaw into the near post. It's headed clear by Yi. Takes a bounce away from Emma Yi. And flag up there for offside as the ball came in. Parmar just the wrong side of the defensive line there. One Altitude player to mention, if you were watching the game last week, Bailey Dirksen, the usual number 9 for Altitude, UBC Thunderbirds player as well, went off injured early in the second half, and got a little update for you in that. It's not as bad as first feared. If you were watching that game last week, you'd have heard Bailey screaming in pain after the challenge when she went down on the turf. Initial fears where she may have done her ACL. It doesn't look like that's the case. It feels like it is just a hyperextension, although she will be going under some more evaluations this coming week. So hopefully Bailey Dirksen will be back on the pitch soon, and we wish Bailey all the best if she's watching this one. Such a key player for Altitude, such a key player for UBC as well. And Jessie Simons is hopeful that Bailey Dirksen will be back sooner rather than later, and it's really good to know that it doesn't seem as bad as first feared. I mean, Initially, I thought it was a break. Bailey had initially thought it was an ACL injury, but it's looking just to be a hyperextension. Still not fun, but we'll keep her out of action for a few weeks at least. This goes all through this altitude side though, and they need someone to step up this afternoon as Ferreira cuts that one out forward to Yi. Megan Sue doing well to keep Yi held off there. Sue again. And Friesen's attempted clearance straight in to the face of Olivia Shepherd there, and the ref just checking that she's okay. So Olivia Shepherd is the second of the two new players that you'll see playing for Altitude to start this one. 27-year-old, can play defensive or midfield roles. Has a lot of experience to bring to this Altitude side. She's came through Princeton University winning a couple of Ivy League titles there. As Parmar brings this one down. Two players though marking her as the Rovers survive another test at the back. Just finishing what I was going to say about Olivia Shepherd, she's also played pro over in Iceland as well. And another player that has represented Canada at U20 and U23 levels. That ball comes to Peckinpah. She plays it to Yi, who goes for the header. She can't keep that one down though, and it's high and over from Emma Yi. Yi, the joint third leading scorer for Altitude this season. Their top two, Jada Thompson and Bailey Dirksen, both missing for different reasons this afternoon for Jessie Simon's side. This has been a good test though for Altitude as they try and find a way through a very resolute Rovers defence right now. Hughes Goyette finds herself in a lot of space. I think she was lining up for the long range shot and then it just ran away from her, and as she tries to poke that through to Peckinpah, can't keep that in. Rovers like to play out the back, but it can get them in a bit of trouble against a high pressing team like this Altitude side, and it's another turnover from TSS. Given straight back to them though. Sasha Merck, nice little give and go there with Yi, but Yi unable to really spring forward from it, and Altitude just win the ball back once again. Hughes Goyette now, she's got forward so well in this game. She's been given a lot of space out there, and again just slightly overruns that one. And it gets away from Peckinpah and out for a Rovers throw-in. Ball looked like it had bounced up and hit Cassidy Anderson's hand there, and referee not giving it, and Gibson wins it back for Altitude. Peckinpah now. Great pace from Peckinpah, takes her past the defender. Good cross in as well, but just over the head of Emma Yi. Emma Yi, 5'6". She just needed an extra couple of inches there to get onto that one. It's the first sub of the afternoon for Altitude. Making way is Kajal Parmar. 34 minutes under her belt in her first appearance of the season for Altitude. Coming on, number 16, Paige Payne. Paige Payne, the 26-year-old from Kitimat in BC. Had a couple of seasons in League One in the early days with Victoria Highlanders. Didn't play last year, but she's the all-time leading scorer for UNBC Timberwolves. 22 goals for the Timberwolves in her 4 years there. First in shots, first in points as well for the university. So a dangerous player coming on for Altitude, taking over from Parmar to lead the line. Paige Payne only the 1 goal so far this season to her name. She'll look to see if she can add to the tally and break the deadlock for Altitude. TSS trying to muster something offensively there, but all comes to nothing and just runs behind, brings up a goal kick for Altitude. They'll quickly get onto this one. Hughes get hit, shot there, cut out by Friesen. Friesen gets the ball back now from Kramer. Nice little cut to the outside there from Delana Friesen, but Dakota Beckett quickly off her line to smother the danger there. Friesen sits second on TSS with 3 goals, 2 behind Sofia Ferrimo. Got a couple of assists to her name this year as well. Player that lit it up in League 1BC in her previous spell with TSS before earning herself a contract over in the League of Ireland with Treaty United. One of many Canadians on that Treaty United side. Back in 2023, 8 goals for Friesen in League One. Played a deeper playing role over the course of this year. Definitely not as much intensity between these two sides as we saw last Sunday out in North Vancouver. It's kind of oppressively warm out there today. It's only 21 degrees, but the cloud covers kind of really kept the heat in, and it does feel a lot warmer down there at pitch level, and that will be starting to take its toll, especially on a couple of players that maybe haven't played a lot of minutes, maybe not up to full match fitness this year. Definitely not seeing the lively altitude attack that we've been used to seeing over the course of the year so far. Still scoreless. Someone needs to try and find a breakthrough here. A game could do with a goal, you feel. As this one, Guardians down to the right, trying to encourage their side. They've not had a lot of looks in the altitude half, never mind in the altitude final third so far, and Kramer gets that one taken off her there, but Friesen back, winning it back. Emma Yee now. Nice turn to the outside, gets away from Merck. A big challenge coming in from Megan Sue. Altitude will try and keep the pressure on from the throw-in. Sienna Gibson plays that all the way back to Zoel Apps. We've not had to mention the centre-back too much so far this afternoon. I haven't seen a lot of the ball. Chu gets a return pass from Friesen. And a speculative ball into the box there from Chu, but again Beckett quickly off her line to deal with the danger. Beckett has shared goalkeeping duties with Kelsey Fisher over the course of the season for Altitude. Fisher way at BC Provincials at the A Cup with the team that she coaches. So I wish Kelsey and the girls all the best. Gibson shows it, tries to touch it to Yi. Those two have their chemistry from the days in the Whitecaps Girls Elite. Logan now plays that forward. It's picked up again by Gibson. She just stumbles at the wrong moment there. Now TSS can maybe get something going the other way. Friesen, she's got the runner to the outside with Chu. Oh, sorry, it's Kramer this time. Just so used to Caitlin Chu getting up that left wing. Kramer again, she's looking for the run to her right, and it just wasn't coming from anyone there. And she gets that taken off her foot, and now it's a chance here for Paige Payne to get something going. But Sophie Campbell back on defensive duty, doing a good shift there to knock that away from the more experienced Payne. TSS have certainly enjoyed a bit more possession in the last couple of minutes here and have made some inroads into the altitude half, but now they're going to have to defend once again as Yi pulls it back, looks for some movement. She had the option of Gibson, plays it out though to Peckinpah. Peckinpah again does well, hits the byline, sends it across. And Sophia Peckinpah has been so good at getting past the defenders and sending those dangerous crosses into the box that time. Read by the Rovers, and they'll withstand another altitude attack here as we're into the last 5 minutes at Swangard. Campbell bringing this one forward, allowed to run forward, and the loose ball picked up by the Rovers. Cerny inside to Yi. Tries to thread that through for Kramer, but just a little bit ahead of her. And I'll just run through to Beckett. Yi skips away up the left wing, but good recovery play from Sasha Merrick to get an important foot into that. And we know once Yi starts going on those mazy runs, she can really take it to defences. Throwing though to altitude on the far side, looking for some movement. It goes to Yi. And the return pass to Ferreira, just too much on it there from Yi, and it just runs out. One back throw by TSS, it's cut back and it just runs under the foot of Peckinpah all the way through to Hughes Goyette. Gibson now. She's forced backwards, and now Shepherd under the attention of Farimo. Hughes Goyette now. Peckinpah makes room, cutting inside. Nice little touch inside. Anderson. Out to Ferreira, who goes for the shot. Doesn't really get the power on it though, and that's not going to trouble Ashley Strand. Sophia Ferreira still looking for her first goal this season for altitude. We've seen her score over the years for UBC as well. Also very dangerous with her long throws. Gibson does well to skip past the defender, but the late challenge coming in and just knocking that out. Bringing up another altitude corner in the closing minutes here. into the last two, almost into the last 90 seconds now. Peckinpah once again over on corner kick duty. Gets a lot on, that's over the head of Payne. It's headed clear by Farimo, only as far as Hughes Goyette. Hughes Goyette, nice little chip forward there for Peckinpah. She finds room, cuts inside this time. Just too many red bodies in the way for Peckinpah to try and pick out Payne. And that just runs away. Another chance for TSS to get something going. Doesn't really come to much, but they do end themselves a throw-in as they try to close out the first half here in the altitude half. That one just runs away though from Friesen, and she'll keep the pressure on Hughes Goyette, who tries to get that out to Peckinpah but can't keep it in, and TSS slowly working their way up the left side here. Kramer though gets that taken off her foot. Payne. Anderson now will spray that out to Gibson. Sorry, to Yee, and she skips away from the tackle. Emma Yee in a bit of space here, but forced to cut inside, still keeping hold of the ball. And the pass looking to try and pick out Gibson, just too much on it. And it's just minimum of a minute to get added on here at the end of the half. Altitude might get one last chance to try and find the breakthrough. The teams went in level last week, tied at 1 apiece. Payne skips away from the challenge, but just has too much to do, but wins the free kick. The challenge coming in there. I think it was Farimo that got the touch. It was Farimo and Friesen that were round about her. She went down. I think it was Farimo, though, that did get the touch. And now this will be the last chance for Altitude in this first half. From watching UBC over the years, this does feel in Sofia Ferreira territory, but she's not one of the two women over the ball just now. It's Peckinpah and Paige Payne. A lot of P's there. 20 yards out on the edge of the D, and it's shaping up that it's going to be Paige Payne that tries to hit this one. Payne does strike it again, though, straight into the wall. It's a second time from a good position this afternoon. And the half-time whistle goes here at Swangard. We're scoreless. The league leaders Altitude being held 0-0 at the half by fourth place TSS. What does the second half hold in store? Join us in 15 minutes to find out. Welcome back to Swangard Stadium for the second half of League 1BC featured Women's Division game of the week, and it's tabletop in altitude being held 0-0 by TSS Rovers at the half, the second of the Ironworkers derbies this year, and there's two half-time subs coming on for altitude. One of them, number 7, Vanessa Tomei. And we'll get a look at who the second one is just as soon as she turns around. Sophia Peckinpah, the number 15, making way as one of them. So, Chloe Van Schalkwyk, the number 3, is the other player on at the half for altitude. So Van Schalkwyk and Tomei, the two players on. Peckinpah and somebody that we will find out who has made their way off at half-time. As the action underway, altitude in the all-black outfits with the white numbers and trim going from right to left. The home side TSS Rovers in the all-red with the white numbers and trim going from left to right. And TSS not able to muster too much in that first half attack-wise, but on the front foot here. As Anderson wins that one back, and Hughes Goyech has got a lot of room in front of her here. Ball forward to Yi. Anderson just lets that run away from her, and the Rovers break it up, and Sue will play this forward for Claire Yi to try and run onto. But back is Zoel Apps doing a good defensive shift. Looks like it was number 12 by process of elimination, Olivia Shepherd, that has gone off for altitude. So that is Shepherd and Peckinpah off, and Vanessa Tomei and Chloe Van Schalkwyk, the two subs coming on at the half.
Altitude FC substitutions at the half, leaving the game number 15, Sophia Peckinpah, entering the game number 7, Vanessa Tomei. Leaving the game number 12,
Miss Tomei, one of the subs in the thick of the action early here, sends a good ball into the edge of the 6-yard box, looking for Paige Payne, but Campbell with an important foot to knock that one away. Tomei over on set piece duty. Player that won 3 U Sports titles with UBC in her 5 years there, just wrapped up her senior year this past fall. And Yi drags it to the outside. That high dangerous ball floating in, but offside there was Claire Logan as she tried to connect on that, looking for her first goal of the season. And we might get a little Logan on Logan action depending on how the second half goes, as Claire's sister Kate is one of the subs for TSS Rovers this afternoon. And Altitude winning a free kick here in a dangerous position at the edge of the box. Had a couple of similar positions in the first half, did the league leaders, but both of those went into the wall. This one needs to be a lot better. The wall also needs to get back a little bit, which I'm sure the referee will sort out shortly. Peckinpah and Payne were the players that took the free kicks in the first half. This time it's Emma Yi that's going to be standing over it for Altitude. Four players lined up in the wall for Ashley Strand. This one just over 20 yards out. He steps up, hits it perfectly. It's off the bar, off the back of Ashley Strand, into the back of the net. And Altitude have the breakthrough in the 50th minute. And it's a fifth goal of the season from Emma Yee. A fantastically struck free kick. Little bit of fortune in the end as to how it ended up in the back of the net. But Altitude will not care a jot. The league leaders needing 4 points to clinch the title. On the way to getting 3 of them now this afternoon is TSS Rovers 0, Altitude 1. And Emma Yee, as I talked about, has had such a fantastic showing for Altitude since coming back, and a great finish there from her. And she's been lively in the first half, and now Altitude sensing blood. Long range effort there from Paige Payne. Didn't quite get the dip on that she was looking for.
That's all I wanted to hear was the 3 beats. Thank you. I was getting ready. Come on.
This Altitude side, once they've got the lead, it's not one that they give up very often. The only time that they've been pegged back this year was last Sunday at Kinsman Field in North Vancouver by this TSS Rovers side. But Altitude in the ascendancy here. Gibson, touch outside, just gets away a little bit from Anderson, but she plays it out to Hughes Goyette. She can't quite get the delivery she's looking for there, and that's just going to run behind for a Rovers goal kick. Good crowd out at Swangard for this one. If Altitude can hold on here, they'll be on 37 points. Don't forget, we've got the men's Ironworkers Derby coming up on League 1 BC YouTube after this one as well. It kicks off at 4:30 as TSS Rovers host Altitude. It's a battle between second and third in the men's division, and if either team can get the victory on that, it's going to go a long way to clinching the League 1 BC title. It's a 4-horse race at the top of the men's division right now. Going to be a fantastic end to July on the men's side, and it's going to go down to the last weekend. 3 games on July 25th, 1 on July 26th, and I think it's going to be the outcome of those games that's going to decide where the League 1 BC title goes for 2025. Altitude, if they get the win here, could wrap up the women's title this afternoon if Unity drop points in their game later this afternoon. That one will also be streamed live on YouTube. You can catch the action with Gideon Hill from Cloverdale from 4:30. Fremo battling away, trying to get something going here for TSS, the Rovers' leading scorer this year. When you saw the attacking talent on the Rovers side, you probably wouldn't have thought Sophia Fremo was going to be the lady that was leading the goal scoring charts for them. Yee gets away, sends the ball in. It's a loose one, and it's struck well in the end, but just a little bit too much on that from Paige Payne, and it's going to be high and over Ashley Strand's bar. And Yi just can't keep hold of that, gets that taken off her, and the last touch comes off the Rovers winger. The sun comes out a little bit more here at Swangard. As I mentioned in the first half, it's a bit of a warm one. It's 21 degrees at kick-off, but quite oppressive with the heat, with the cloud cover. Katie Chan thought about the ball up the right wing, but just hesitated too much on it and was quickly closed down there by Tomei, or by Gibson, sorry. And Gibson again just battling away. The high press from altitude does put a lot of pressure on defences, and TSS have been on the back foot for most of the 55 minutes so far. They have to try and find some piece of magic as that through ball trying to play in Caitlin Chu, who's definitely been one of the standout performers for the Rovers this afternoon. Chan sends it long, but it's won back by altitude. Cassidy Anderson plays a lovely ball out here for Emma Yi to once again stretch her legs on the right. Yi cuts inside. Oh, that ball just runs away from Paige Payne. It was a perfect pass picked out for her. Now the other end, the Rovers. Caitlin Cerny is trying to battle her way through. Too many black jerseys there in the end for Cerny to try and get past. The 19-year-old coming on as a first half sub early for Elise Baudry. Tomei now just runs away from Gibson, but Van Schalkwijk is there to pick up the loose ball. She touches it inside to Anderson. Hughes Goyette now gets past Friesen with ease, hits the byline, sends it in, but it's just too near to Strand, and she collects it at the second attempt. But Hughes Goyette's had a lot of success getting up that right wing and getting past the defenders this afternoon. Friesen, that's a loose one from her, and Cerny does well in the challenge there with Gibson. Or I thought she had, but the referee thought otherwise, and he's blowing this one back. But now he's giving it the other way. Ferreira standing over this one for altitude. She'll send it high into the edge of the box. One well by Campbell. Loose ball though picked up by Anderson. She'll get the ball back here. Emma Yi drops the shoulder. Touch outside there looking for Anderson. If you haven't watched the game from Wednesday between Evolution and Altitude, watch the stoppage time goal, the 6th one of the game for Altitude from Emma Yi. Fantastic individual effort, goes on a mazy run, and that is how dangerous Emma Yi is. We saw it the last couple of years with Whitecaps Girls Elite in League One. She's carried it on into the college game of the University of Illinois. And then she's been lighting it up and has to be one of the players that you feel is going to get featured in the end of season League 1BC Women's Team of the Year. As is possibly Sofia Ferrimo for the great performance that she's had, and she sparks something here for TSS. Sasha Merck gets the ball in. It's been a rare occurrence this afternoon for crosses into the box, but Yi just can't pick that one out of the turf. As Payne now picks up the ball. Powering forward here for the North Vancouver side. Still Paige Payne. Doesn't have a lot of options up with her. Plays it into the box, but Sophie Campbell easily dealing with that. And Altitude slow and getting numbers forward there. And Claire Yee's day is done. She hasn't had much service out there this afternoon. So she makes way, and coming on is number 22, Erin Bandel. Bandel hasn't featured too much for TSS this season. Just 17-year-old comes through the TSS Academy and has been playing with the Rovers U18s. Van Schalkwijk forced back there from Bandel, who's taped up on her left wrist. Rovers have settled down well after giving up that goal at the start of the second half, and they need to try and just keep hold of the ball a little bit longer than they are. The unforced turnovers have been hurting them and putting them on a defensive footing for much of this game. Gibson tries to skip past there, but a big tackle coming in from Sasha Merck is going to bring up the second corner of the second half, if my recollection's right. And it's Vanessa Tomei once again over on set piece duty here for the North Shore side, looking to try and add to their 1-goal lead. Tomei dangerous in, swing it to the back, it's punched away by Strand. And Delana Friesen with a big boot to get that clear. Now Cerny might have a chance to get past Van Schalkwijk here, but great play from the young Altitude sub there to win that one back. Two young players battling it out, 19-year-old Caitlin Cerny. As Sophia Ferreira sends that in. Van Schalkwijk, 18-year-olds. It's a good mix of age and experience out on the pitch just now for both of these sides. Kramer chips that forward for Bandel and Cerny to try and chase down, and it's Beckett quickly off her line. She hasn't had a lot to do this afternoon, but staying alert at the back there for Altitude. Past the hour mark now here at Swangard. Remind you of the men's game coming up at 4 o'clock. As Altitude look to build on their big 1-0 victory over TSS last Sunday in North Vancouver. And that's a through ball for Cerny, but she looked a couple of steps offside. The near side linesman agrees, and the flag up very quickly there. Something you can enjoy about League One, that the assistant referees actually put their flags up instead of waiting for a long time afterwards to see if a decision's offside or not. One of the many benefits of not having VAR in this league. Gibson battling away with Farimo. Farimo doing well to hold her off there, and Gibson keeping at her really tenaciously there. I thought the last touch had maybe come off a Rovers player, but Rovers get the decision. No subs warming up for TSS at the moment. Altitude subs making their way back to the bench. We'll see if Jesse Simons turns to his bench anytime soon to add some spark to his side. They got the breakthrough he was looking for, but they'd love a second to try and put this game to bed early. Merck with a long ball forward looking for Cerny. Rovers will just have to settle for a throw just inside the altitude half. Bandaged Bandal getting the ball back there. Well read though by Sienna Gibson, and as she tries to break her way through there, Megan Sue with a challenge brings up a free kick for the visitors. Ferreira gets it back, closed down quickly though by Sue, and then didn't have a lot of options left, but Altitude will get another throw in. Mentioned in the first half, if you've watched Sophia Ferreira play at UBC, you know she's got a very long throw. We haven't seen that in full effect this afternoon, as she plays that there to Gibson, back to Van Schalkwyk. Out to Hughes Goyette. Now she thought about the shot. Now puts on the jets, gets into the box, and an important tackle. Well timed there from Delana Friesen, and she had to time that one right, or that was going to be going down in the box as a penalty, but instead Altitude will get the corner. Midway point of the second half, fast approaching here. And Vanessa Tomei over on far side, corner kick duty now. Altitude's third of the second half. Her first two from the other side have been in-swingers. This one looks to be an out-swinger. To the edge of the 6-yard box, body's going up and no one can bring it down. Oh, fantastic skill there from Claire Logan, the centre-back. You don't often see that, and she's gone down after a heavy challenge there, and she looked in a lot of pain right away. No malice in the tackle, not a bad tackle either, but just taking Logan out as that one went through. And Claire Logan, the 19-year-old, has so much experience on this Altitude side, despite her young years at 19. Came through the Whitecaps system, has played in League One for the Whitecaps. Claire Logan, a player that's played at 2 World Cups for Canada, one for the U17s, one at U20 level, and she's a player that when she eventually finishes her college career, she's with Notre Dame Fighting Irish at the moment, you've got to feel is going to be a shoo-in for a pro career, maybe here in Vancouver with the Rise, or maybe going overseas or somewhere else in the NSL. But good to see she's back on her feet there. And we'll keep an eye as well to see if her sister Kate might get an out this afternoon as well. Just now though, it's Paige Payne powering into the box for Altitude. Logan and Hughes Goyette not quite on the same page there. It's cut out by Friesen. Brought down well by Cerny. Friesen, touch outside to Kramer. And she just gets that one taken off her foot by Hughes Goyette, and a chance now for Emma Yee to power forward. Doesn't have a lot of options up there with her. She does have Payne out to her right, and she knocks it out for Paige Payne, who just overruns it, and that just runs behind, and a good break there for Altitude. Comes to nothing for the North Vancouver side. And Sienna Gibson making way here for Altitude. She's going to get replaced by Hannah Baines. one of the two Bain sisters in League 1BC. Bain's the older of the two, and both of them will be reuniting on the pitch for UBC this coming season. Hannah's sister is going to be a rookie at UBC this coming fall. Hannah Baines was a rookie this year for the Thunderbirds under Jesse March. 8 games played for UBC. Her sister plays for the Whitecaps Academy. Tomei now has room here. Sends across and nobody in a black jersey there though to get on the end of it, and a big clearance by TSS, only as far though as Ferreira. Talking to sisters, Sophia's sister Ava, also on this altitude side, was meant to be on the bench this afternoon but seems to have been a late scratch. And it is a short-handed bench for UBC. Only one goalkeeper in the squad today, so no sub-keeper on the bench. As Tomei tries the delicate little touch through there to Paige Payne, but that was asking a lot of Payne to try and get on the end of that one. As mentioned, Payne, the all-time leading scorer for UNBC Thunderbirds in Canada West, also leads the school in shots and points as well. 22 goals from her 4 years at UNBC. Only had half chances in this one since coming on. We're into the last 20, into the last 19 now here at Swangard. Altitude holding the narrow 1-0 lead. It's a lead that if they can hold on to will put them on the verge of winning their first ever League 1BC championship. Merritt does well to skip away from that tackle from her former teammate here at TSS, Vanessa Tomei. Tomei was with the Rovers last year in League 1. Making the switch to altitude to play under her former college coach though this year. Cerny just can't bring that one down, and Baines just gets a big foot to send that up the pitch. Veremo, nice little give and go there with Kramer, and she tries to power her way through, but just too many black jerseys in front of her in the end. TSS have enjoyed a bit more possession in this half than the first, but they've still not really been able to carve out any clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. They're lacking the penetration in the final third. And time fast running out for them to try and find the equaliser here. If Unity are watching this right now, they'll be really hoping that they can get that equaliser. See Altitude drop another couple of big points in the race for the title. And if Altitude do hold on here, it would officially eliminate Vancouver Rise Academy from defending their title, as we're going to get another Altitude substitution here. Olivia Gomez, the number 19, coming on for Altitude, and Aurora Hughes Goyette making way. Olivia Gomez, another UBC Thunderbird player. Another one that had a rookie season this past year. Up at Point Grey, 18 games played, got 3 assists. And Olivia Gomez is a player that's used to winning championships. She won a U Sports title in her first year. She's won a slew of Premier Cups and BCSPL titles as well with Fusion. And Gomez in the thick of the action. Right away trying to play that up the wing to Tomei. Gomez with 1 goal and 1 assist in the year as well so far in League One. Kramer, TSS do well to get that one out. And Kramer, it's a lovely ball here for Bandal, but she's going to have to do it all her own. She's got no support up there with her. They're coming forward now, though, in the red jerseys. Bandal, a little give and go there with Kramer. Nice little skip. Gets away, but closed down well by Gomez. Important block there from the young left back. And it's going to be out for a TSS Rovers corner. Their first off the half. Might even be their first of the game. And we're into the last 15 minutes here. Rovers pushing for the equaliser. It was 1-1 between these two teams just 6 days ago in North Vancouver. Caitlin Cerny. Good delivery high into the box. It's met well there. Sophie Campbell, who got on the score sheet last week with a long-range banger, almost getting the equaliser again this afternoon, but just couldn't direct her header on target. Logan bringing that out for altitude now. It's Hannah Baines. Up to Tomei, the little touch from Tomei gets the better there of Katie Chan. Tomei powering into the box, going for the near post. It's spilled by Strand, but she gets an important hand on that to knock it away. Paige Payne waiting to pounce there. Altitude just happy to keep the ball at the other end of the pitch just now. They're penned into the Rovers half here. Cross comes in, Campbell again, dealing with the danger. Emma Yee skips past one challenge, cuts into the box. Still Emma Yee goes for the shot to the near post, but Ashley Strand down well to deal with that one. It will be interesting to see if Emma Yee does get the credit for her 5th goal of the year, or if they might give it to Ashley for an own goal, with it coming off the bar and off the back of her head. I mean, technically it would be a goalkeeper own goal, but I think Emma Yee deserves the credit for the good free kick strike, so we'll see what the statos deal with that. As altitude now have acres of room here for Olivia Gomez. Tomei, I think she was looking for the overlapping run there from Gomez that just didn't come. Gomez staying at home. Altitude will try now up the right hand side. Ferreira to Yee. Again doing the little shimmy dancing. Cuts it back to Ferreira, who goes down in a heap, and Rovers will recover the ball here. Hannah Baines trying to play that through to Payne, just taking a deflection off the Rovers defence, and it's going to bring up another Altitude corner here in the 80th minute. Altitude holding the 1-goal lead. Free kick from Emma Yee, the difference between these two teams in the 50th minute. Tomei with it in swinger. It's flicked on nicely, dangerously, bouncing about the 6-yard box. Hannah Baines flicked that on, and no one in a black jersey could get ahead to it. Now Rovers get a chance to bring it out. Bando and Cerny linking up. That's asking a lot for Caitlin Cerny to chase that down, and Gomez just puts on a burst of speed and will play this all the way back to her keeper. TSS warming a couple of subs up that they might be turning to in the later stages of the game here, as Sophia Ferreira getting a warning from the referee for that challenge. That's going to bring up a free kick here for TSS. Bando trying to give the return ball there to Merck, but just gets away from her, and quickly on with it is Gomez. Rovers set to make a pair of substitutions, and it looks like it's two homegrowns that are about to come on here for TSS. Yee pulls that back. Yee going on another Maisie there, but just doing a little bit too much in the end, and Friesen takes it off her. Altitude though keeping the pressure on. Sophia Ferreira. Big block there, and right away that is a hand to the referee from Delana Friesen. She took the full force of that cross from Sophia Ferreira, and Sophia Ferreira's got one hell of a hard shot on her, so would not want to be on the wrong end of that. TSS will just wait to make sure Friesen's okay before they make their substitutions here. So making way is number 10, sorry, Caitlin Cerny, and number 11, Sophia Kramer. And coming on for TSS is number 21, Nina Louie, and number 19, Clara Fisher-Credo. So it wasn't the two subs I was thinking it was going to be. Although thankfully it's the two subs that we do have numbers for, so that does help. Clara Fisher-Credo taking the striker role up front, wearing the number 19 jersey. The 18-year-old is another player that has come through the TSS Academy. Nina Louie as well has been in the TSS Academy since age 15, so it is two Academy players that have come on. Paige Payne trying to put on the Jets there, but Sophie Campbell again doing great defensive work. She was so good last week for the Rovers, good again this afternoon. Right now, probably leading my unofficial AFTN TSS Rovers player of the game. despite trailing in this one. I think my two top performers so far this afternoon for TSS have been number 2, Caitlin Chu, had a very good first half, getting forward quite a bit, hasn't really had the opportunity to do that much in the second. So I think I will be giving Sophie Campbell our unofficial AFTN player of the game. It's hard to look past Emma Yee for altitude as well. An absolutely fantastic shift once again from the young winger. The 18-year-old from Richmond is a very exciting talent. She's on the ball again just now as that one just gets away from her, but the decision goes the way of the visitors. Rovers and altitude men both starting to warm up now behind both the goals. That game coming up here on YouTube on the L1BC channel from 4 o'clock this afternoon. Should be an exciting one, and a couple of surprises in the TSS lineup, but we'll get to that when that game gets underway. Baines plays it back to Yee. Ferreira and Yee have linked up so well in this second half on that right hand side. Yee played the first half on the left, and then with Tomei coming on at half time, switched over to the right, and it's been dangerous on both wings. This comes to nothing though for altitude as we get into the last 4. Do TSS have a way back in this? Can they make altitude drop points for the second straight week? Or is it going to be 3 big points towards the 4 needed for altitude to lift this year's title? They've got 2 games left to go after this one as well. A home one next Sunday at Kinsman Field, taking on Langley United. Depending on how Unity do this afternoon, depending on how Unity do midweek as well, that could see altitude lift the title that day on home turf, and that would be a fantastic occasion for them if they can do that. Free admission to that game at Kinsman Field next Sunday, so if you're in the area, get out, support L1BC and take in a game at one of my favourite stadiums in all of League One. Come for the football, stay for the wobbly lines. And there's 3 balls on the pitch just now. That's the first. I've seen 2 before. I don't think I've seen 3. The minutes ticking down fast here as altitude just seeing this one out. It's not been a pretty performance, but taken off the feet there, and a chance now for the Rovers. Erin Bandal spins away, touch outside there, and it just gets away, and the long range effort comes in from Nina Louie. And she's not had a lot to do this afternoon, but Dakota Beckett easily handling that one. Into the last 2 minutes. We'll keep an eye on the 4th official for how much time is going to get added on here. Been a few substitutions. Might be looking at about 3 minutes to get added on at the end of this. Sasha Merrick gets the ball closed down quickly by Tomei, but she cuts inside. Still Merrick for TSS. Vremo shields that well and goes down, ends side, a free kick as well, and TSS want to quickly get on with this. I'd fancy for Remo to take this. We've seen her long range shot so far this year, but she seems to be getting waved off it. Right now, nobody seems to be stepping up to take it for TSS. In fact, it's going to be Caitlin Chu now. I think we might see this more lofted into the box than a shot on goal here. Now she's backing off and it's going to be Megan Sue. Feels like no one is wanting to take this for TSS as the seconds quickly ticking down here. 4 players in the wall for Dakota Beckett. Sue is lining this one up for the shot. Gets it over the wall, but it's a chip into the arms of Beckett in the end as we move into a minimum of 3 minutes time to get added on at the end here. Yee chasing this one down. Will it hold up? She keeps it. Oh, she doesn't keep it in. It looked like she almost kept that in there. Really full of running right to the last second here, Emma Yee, as we get another substitution. And that is the end for Emma Yee this afternoon. She is heading off and coming on as number 34, Avery Tulloch, in her 3rd season with Altitude. League 1BC original, been with the league from the first season where she spent with Rovers. So that's number 34, Avery Tulloch, on for number 32, Emma Yee. TSS enjoying their best spell of the game in the dying seconds here. Altitude just seeing out the dying minutes here into the last minute of the minimum of 3 that were indicated by the 4th official. Ball played up the wing and it's won back by TSS. Is there time for them to launch one last gasp attack here? Try and find the equaliser. It's a good through ball for Fisher Credo to try and chase down, but Beckett will just take her time picking that one up into the last 20 seconds here. Unless the referee finds any extra for that late substitution from the visitors. A poor kick by Beckett is going to give the ball back here to TSS. They might have one last opportunity to find an equaliser that could really put the cat amongst the pigeons. But the referee blows the final whistle and it finishes TSS Rovers 0, Altitude 1. The difference maker, Emma Yee, a 50th minute free kick from about 20 yards out. It hit off the bar, it hit off the back of Ashley Strand. It nestled in the back of the net. And that gave Altitude a massive 3 points. It's 3 points that take their total to the season for 37. That officially eliminates Vancouver Rise Academy from winning the League 1BC title. It is a 2-horse race now between Altitude and Unity. Unity have 5 games left and they're going to need to win all 5 and hope that Altitude do not get any points from their final 2 games. Unity taking on Langley this afternoon. 4:30 is the women's game live on YouTube. You can watch that with commentary from Gideon Hill. I've been Michael McCall. I'll be back at 4 o'clock for the men's game as TSS take on Altitude in a battle between second and third in League One Men's Division. That should be an absolute cracker. If you're joining us for that, I'll catch you then. If not, I'll catch you at the pitch again soon.
I must do. Yeah,